Utah is taxing electric vehicles and charging. This is a bad idea. Many people in Utah would buy an electric vehicle or hybrid vehicle, so why is Utah taxing these vehicles more and taxing the charging of these vehicles at public charging stations a bad idea? The tax on charging would be 12.5%. That's a ridiculous amount. But the reason for this is that there is a gas tax and the money for that going away needs to come from somewhere. House Majority Leader Mike Schultz, Huber, said that this is a matter of fairness with higher prices at the gas pump and the reality that electric vehicles and hybrids still result in wear and tear on Utah's roadways, which require tax dollars to maintain. Here's why taxing EV is a bad idea. The owners of these EV are already paying state tax to Utah. EV are clean. Electric vehicles EV are becoming increasingly popular as they offer a number of advantages over traditional gasoline-powered vehicles. EV produce zero emissions, which helps to improve air quality. Utah also has horrible air quality. EV are also more efficient than gasoline-powered vehicles, which means they require less energy to operate. In addition, EV are often cheaper to operate and maintain than gasoline-powered vehicles. EV advantages. Despite the many advantages of EVs, some states are considering taxing them or charging fees for charging them. This is a bad idea for several reasons. First, it would discourage people from buying EVs, which would slow the transition to a cleaner transportation system. Second, it would be unfair to EV owners who are already paying a premium for their vehicles. Third, it would do little to raise revenue as EV are relatively few. There are many advantages to owning an electric vehicle. Some of the most notable advantages include zero emissions. EV produce zero emissions, which helps to improve air quality. This is especially beneficial in urban areas, where air pollution is a major problem. Increased fuel efficiency. EV are more efficient than gasoline-powered vehicles, which means they require less energy to operate. This can save money on fuel costs over time. Lower maintenance costs. EV require less maintenance than gasoline-powered vehicles. This is because they have fewer moving parts and do not require oil changes. Quieter operation. EV are much quieter than gasoline-powered vehicles. This can be a major advantage in urban areas where noise pollution is a problem. Disadvantages of taxing electric vehicles. There are a number of disadvantages to taxing electric vehicles. Some of the most notable disadvantages include: it would discourage people from buying EVs. Taxing electric vehicles would make them more expensive, which would discourage people from buying them. This would slow the transition to a cleaner transportation system. It would be unfair to EV owners. EV owners are already paying a premium for their vehicles. Taxing them would make them even more expensive, which would be unfair. It would do little to raise revenue. EV are relatively few. Taxing them would raise relatively little revenue. There are disadvantages to an EV as well. Conclusion: taxing electric vehicles is a bad idea. It would discourage people from buying EVs, which would slow the transition to a cleaner transportation system. It would also be unfair to EV owners and would do little to raise revenue. Do you think Utah should tax EV and charging?